Israel crossed the line it had not touched for 2,000 years, and almost no one noticed. Before dawn, while the world slept and scrolled past meaningless headlines, 100 Jewish priests stood together and lifted their shofars. 100 voices, one sound. A ritual silent since the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD was suddenly brought back to life. For the first time in history, this moment was broadcast to the entire world. No secrecy, no hiding. And yet the silence afterward was chilling. Mainstream media barely acknowledged it, as if attention had to be steered elsewhere while something ancient and irreversible unfolded. Most people didn't understand what they were seeing. Many never saw it at all. But I was watching. And what I witnessed did not feel symbolic. It felt intentional, timed, like a door opening rather than a tradition remembered. If this already unsettles you, stay with me. Like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching. What comes next may explain why some are preparing in silence while the rest of the world remains distracted. The moment began precisely as the sun slipped below the horizon in Jerusalem. That timing was deliberate. In Hebrew tradition, a new day is born when the first 3 stars pierce the dark, and that threshold carries prophetic weight. The priests understood this. 100 of them stood ready, dressed in white, consecrated through 7 days of purification. They avoided death in all its forms. No contact with the dead, no intimacy. Each morning began in the mikveh, immersing themselves in water, preparing to approach something both holy and fearsome. When the first shofar sounded, the atmosphere changed. Cameras caught it instantly. Doves at the western wall erupted into the sky as if startled by an unseen force. Dogs across Jerusalem began to howl. Witnesses spoke of a pressure in their chests, a vibration, like something unseen passing through flesh and bone. But what followed was never reported. An elderly rabbi who was present later spoke to me, his identity withheld for his safety. His voice shook as he said, "When the 100 shofars sounded together, we felt the veil tear. For a moment, the invisible temple was there. We could smell it. Incense, sacrifice, time folded in on itself." His words echo scripture. In 2 Chronicles 5, when Solomon dedicated the first temple, 120 priests sounded their trumpets, and the glory of God descended as a cloud so heavy the priests could not stand. Nearly 3,000 years later, Israel attempted to mirror that moment. But something was different. Analysts who studied the recording discovered the combined sound formed a precise frequency, 440 hertz. This is not random. Recent studies suggest this frequency can influence human biology, even activate dormant genetic structures. Why does that matter? Genesis 6 speaks of the Nephilim, beings from before the flood. Some believe this was an attempt to awaken something ancient, something buried since the days of Noah. The strangeness did not stop there. During the live broadcast, watched by nearly 300 million people worldwide, unexplained events erupted. In Argentina, a woman reported her autistic son spoke for the first time. In Japan, minor earthquakes registered at the exact moment the shofars sounded. In Africa, an entire church entered collective ecstasy, prophesying about the final days. Satellites recorded something more disturbing, an electromagnetic anomaly over Jerusalem lasting exactly 7 minutes. When mapped, it formed a perfect hexagon, a shape tied in sacred geometry to the seal of Solomon, the union of heaven and earth. A quantum physicist working covertly for the Israeli government later leaked data showing subatomic particles behaving in impossible ways during those 7 minutes. Reality itself appeared unstable. This was no accident. Preparations had been underway for years. Documents reference Project Shofar, active since 2015, studying sound's effect on consciousness, climate, even space-time. A former insider, now in hiding, claimed certain shofar combinations could open what they called dimensional portals. Scripture warns us this is not fantasy. In 1 Samuel 16:14, David's harp drove a tormenting spirit from Saul. If a single instrument can affect the unseen, what can 100 shofars, blown by consecrated priests, accomplish? Since that day, reports have surged. UFO sightings, prophetic dreams, animals behaving erratically. A Kabbalist from Safed told me the shofar does not symbolize tearing the heavens. It does it. And the coldest truth of all? Israel was not alone. Vatican observers were present. Delegates from unnamed secret societies watched in silence. Joel 2:1 warned us, "Blow the trumpet in Zion, for the day of the Lord is coming." This was not ritual. It was a signal. And something answered. A low hum began to spread, like a distant trumpet carried through the bones rather than the air. It wasn't heard with the ears, it was felt. During the eclipse, my cousin was standing in a public square in Mexico when it happened. She called me shaking. "Everyone heard it," she said. "At the same time, it was like the sky was speaking." Similar reports followed within hours from the United States, Brazil, Spain, Egypt, India. Different cultures, different languages, one identical sound. A neuroscientist from Tel Aviv later proposed a disturbing theory. During total solar eclipses, the sudden disruption of Earth's electromagnetic field may stimulate the pineal gland, what many call the third eye. When activated, the brain may perceive frequencies normally hidden from human awareness. For a few brief minutes, humanity may have heard something that is always there, but usually sealed off. The sound of the unseen. What haunted me for weeks is this. Ancient civilizations recorded the same pattern. The Mayans, the Egyptians, the Sumerians. Their texts describe great transitions preceded by the same sequence. Blood moon, solar eclipse, then the sound of trumpets. An Israeli archaeologist recently showed me tablets discovered near the Dead Sea, written in ancient Aramaic and dated to the Second Temple period. They contain a prophecy that reads, "When the moon bleeds 3 times in a generation, and the sun is darkened on the appointed day, then the 100 righteous will sound the call, and the heavens will open." 3 blood moons in 1 generation. We have had exactly 3 globally visible blood moons in the last 40 years. The last was the one I described. These events are not merely signs, they are catalysts, activators. A Kabbalist rabbi from Jerusalem, known for precise predictions, said shortly before the shofar event, "The luminaries of the sky are God's clocks. When they align, doors open that have been sealed since the foundation of the world." And something did open. Since then, hospitals worldwide have reported a 300% increase in patients claiming mystical experiences. Ordinary people, no history of mental illness. They speak of angels, demons, visions of the future. A nurse in Sao Paulo told me, "We have an entire room saying the same thing, that the veil is thinning, that they can see the other side." Revelation 6:12 describes it with precision. "The sun darkened, the moon turned blood red." The sequence is exact. A Christian quantum physicist explained that string theory suggests multiple dimensions vibrating at different frequencies. Normally, they remain separate, but certain cosmic alignments may briefly synchronize them. When they do, worlds touch. This may be why Jesus warned in Luke 21 that signs would appear in the sun, moon, and stars, and nations would fall into confusion. The signs are already here, and Israel knows what comes next. 3 months ago, Israel announced a practice sacrifice of the red heifer. A rehearsal, they said. But I have evidence it was far more serious. In Numbers 19, God gives strict instructions. The red heifer must be flawless. Its ashes are required to purify priests and the temple. Without them, there can be no third temple. And without a third temple, the final sequence cannot begin. A former Temple Institute insider contacted me in secret. His message was brief. This was not a rehearsal. The clock has started. He showed me videos I was never meant to see. Footage kept off any public record. In those images, the truth is unmistakable. The sacrifice was real, not symbolic, not a rehearsal. The red heifer was slaughtered and burned completely, exactly as prescribed in the Torah. Every step followed with precision. And when the fire finished its work, the ashes were gathered carefully, reverently, and sealed away. So why lie? Why tell the world it was only a practice? The answer is both simple and terrifying. If the Muslim world knew Israel already possesses the ashes, already holds what is required to purify priests and consecrate the third temple, war would erupt immediately. Because the temple cannot be built just anywhere. It must stand where the Al-Aqsa Mosque stands today, the third holiest site in Islam. The truth would ignite the Middle East overnight. But what I uncovered next is even more unsettling. When the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in 1947, it wasn't only manuscripts that were found. Alongside them were sealed vessels. Their contents were classified for decades. An archaeologist involved in the early examinations, now elderly and close to death, finally spoke. "We found 9 vessels filled with ashes," he told me. Carbon-14 analysis confirmed they dated from the time of Moses through the Second Temple period. They were the ashes of the 9 red heifers sacrificed throughout Israel's history. According to Jewish tradition, only 9 red heifers have ever been sacrificed. The 10th, they believe, will be sacrificed by the Messiah himself, or immediately before his arrival. Israel already had the ashes of the first 9. They were missing only 1. And 3 months ago, they completed the set. A rabbi explained the ritual to me. The heifer must be taken east of Jerusalem to the Mount of Olives, in full view of the temple site. It must be sacrificed facing west, toward where the Holy of Holies once stood. And here's the detail that stopped me cold. Many scholars believe the very place where Jesus was crucified is the same location where the red heifers were sacrificed. Hebrews 13:11-12 draws the line clearly. The bodies of the sin offerings were burned outside the camp, and Jesus suffered outside the city gate to make the people holy through his own blood. He was the true red heifer, without blemish, without sin. His blood purified not a stone temple, but the human heart. Israel rejects this. They are still waiting for their Messiah. And they believe the 10th heifer will call him forth. An informant inside Mossad revealed something chilling. On the day Israel claimed was only a rehearsal, sensors detected electromagnetic anomalies identical to those recorded during the 100 shofar event. Satellites briefly lost signal. Instruments registered fluctuations in Earth's magnetic field. It was as if something responded, he told me. As if something ancient woke up. And something did. Since that day, constant microtremors have been recorded beneath the Temple Mount. Too small to feel, too consistent to ignore. An Israeli geologist monitoring the data told me the seismic pattern matches models associated with the fall of Jericho's walls. Sound, vibration, collapse without warfare. Could Israel be attempting to bring down Al-Aqsa not with bombs, but with ancient rituals and frequencies? According to Kabbalistic texts, the ashes of the red heifer mixed with living water create the waters of separation, capable of dividing holy from profane, human from divine. A Jewish biochemist in a classified Negev laboratory told me, "We found isotopes in the ashes that should not exist naturally. The fire altered matter at the subatomic level. And now the warning becomes unavoidable." 2 Thessalonians 2:4 speaks of the man of sin who will sit in the temple of God, declaring himself God. For that to happen, the temple must exist. And for the temple to exist, the ashes are required. Do you see the pattern? There is a war already underway in Jerusalem, not with tanks or missiles, but with tunnels, excavations, and rituals in the dark. And what they are building could reshape the world. If this unsettles you, don't look away. Like the video, leave your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and keep watching. Because what lies beneath the Temple Mount is far more dangerous than what stands above it. Some of these tunnels date back to the time of the first temple. Others were carved by crusaders searching for relics. Many more are recent, dug quietly over the last 20 years under government authorization. An engineer who worked on these excavations, now living in hiding, told me the truth with shaking hands. "We weren't just digging," he said. "We were searching for something specific, something the Templars failed to find, something the Romans never destroyed. What they are looking for is almost impossible to say out loud. The Ark of the Covenant, the chest that held the tablets of the 10 Commandments, the manna, and Aaron's rod, the most sacred and dangerous object in Jewish history. And they believe it lies directly beneath the place where the Muslim world now prays." 2 Maccabees 2:5 records that the prophet Jeremiah hid the ark before the first temple fell, sealing it in a cave on the mountain where Moses once saw the Promised Land. But another, older tradition claims something different, that the ark was hidden in secret chambers beneath the temple itself, protected from destruction, waiting. And they have found signs. Using ground-penetrating radar, Israeli teams detected an anomaly 30 meters below the surface. A perfectly square, empty chamber that appears on no ancient map. Too precise to be natural, too deep to be accidental. And stranger still, electronic instruments fail when they approach it. A physicist involved in the project told me, "It behaves like an energy field. We've lost 3 exploration robots. They shut down the moment they cross a certain boundary." It recalls Exodus 40:35, when Moses could not enter the tent of meeting because the glory of the Lord filled it. But the excavation is only one front in this unseen conflict. Every night, at exactly 3 in the morning, groups of Orthodox Jews circle the Temple Mount, performing rituals that are not ordinary prayers. They chant invocations in ancient Hebrew, using divine names forbidden for 2,000 years. A linguist who studied fragments of these chants told me they are designed to weaken spiritual foundations. The belief is simple and terrifying. If the correct words are spoken, in the correct order, at the correct time, the mosque above will fall on its own. Superstition, perhaps. But in 2023, a section of the Al-Aqsa Mosque floor collapsed without warning. Engineers found no structural failure. The ground simply gave way. Alongside the spiritual effort runs a technological one. Israel has developed what it calls directed seismic devices, officially for archaeological mapping. A former military officer told me the truth. We are charting every fracture beneath the mount, every weak point. When the moment comes, we can make it collapse without a single explosion. It will look like nature. The Muslim authorities are not unaware. An imam from Al-Aqsa, speaking anonymously, said, "We know. That is why prayers never stop. Day and night. It is a shield." He claims that each time digging advances, accidents follow. Equipment fails. Workers fall ill. Tunnels collapse without cause. One former excavation worker described an incident that ended his involvement forever. "We opened a sealed door," he said. "An icy wind rushed out and killed every light. In the dark, we heard voices speaking a language none of us knew. We sealed it again. No one went back." But deeper still, they found something else. Inscriptions carved into stone. Not Hebrew, not Aramaic, not any known script. Symbols that seemed to shift when not looked at directly. When finally interpreted, all carried the same warning. The seal must not be broken until the appointed time. What seal? What appointed time? An elderly Kabbalist gave me a clue, and his words still echo in my mind. He said there are things buried beneath the Temple Mount that are not of this world. Things that fell when the angels rebelled. The temple, he claimed, was built not only as a place of worship, but as a lid, a restraint, something meant to keep what lies below from ever rising again. That warning immediately brings Revelation 9:1 into focus. A star falls from heaven to the earth, and it is given a key, not a weapon, a key. The key to the shaft of the abyss. The question no one wants to ask is this: what if, in their determination to build the third temple, Israel is approaching a door that should never be opened? The struggle over the Temple Mount is not merely political. It is not even purely religious. It is cosmic. A confrontation between forces most of humanity has never been allowed to see. There is a saying of Jesus that has puzzled scholars for 2,000 years. But of that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Most read this as a declaration of total uncertainty. But a rabbi who specializes in Hebrew idioms told me something shocking. In ancient Jewish culture, the day no one knows was not a mystery. It was a code phrase. It referred specifically to Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets. It is the only feast that begins with the new moon, and its start could only be confirmed when two witnesses saw the first sliver of light. Until then, no one knew the day or the hour. Jesus was not saying the time would never be known. He was pointing to a feast. And now consider this. The year 2025 corresponds to the Hebrew year 5,785. Add those digits together, and you get 25. In Hebrew numerology, 25 is the number associated with redemption. But that is only the surface. This year, an extremely rare convergence occurs. The Feast of Trumpets aligns with a penumbral lunar eclipse, the autumn equinox, and the beginning of a sabbatical year. Statistically, This alignment is nearly impossible. A Jewish mathematician showed me something that left me speechless. By taking every 49th letter in the book of Daniel, 7 times 7, a hidden phrase emerges: the final shofar in the year of the double jubilee. According to Leviticus, a jubilee occurs every 50 years. But ancient rabbinic tradition speaks of a jubilee of jubilees, every 2,500 years. The last one coincides with the lifetime of Jesus. An Israeli astronomer added another layer. The constellations this year are forming patterns not seen since the year the Second Temple was destroyed, as if the sky itself is closing a loop. Then there is the number of the Messiah. In Hebrew, its numerical value is 358. When you calculate the span from the destruction of the temple to the present, divided by the generations listed in Matthew, the result is exactly the same number. A Kabbalist told me quietly, "Creation runs on numbers, and all the numbers are converging." What truly disturbed me is this: Israel does not merely study these patterns, they act on them. The event of the 100 shofars was timed with precision, aligned to these calculations. A former intelligence agent revealed that there is an entire department devoted to prophetic chronology. Supercomputers, ancient texts, astronomical cycles, all synchronized. They are not waiting for prophecy. They are trying to meet it. What they have uncovered has pushed them into controlled panic. According to internal calculations leaked to me, there is a critical window between September 2025 and April 2026, where the probability of eschatological escalation reaches 94%. I do not know the full formula behind those numbers, but I know how they are responding. Underground bunkers are being expanded at record speed. Food reserves are being stockpiled for 7 years. New defense systems are being deployed. Systems that make little sense against conventional weapons, but appear designed for something far less familiar. An engineer involved in these projects spoke to me before disappearing from public view. The specifications were unlike anything I've seen, he said. The bunkers had to withstand nuclear impact, yes, but also dimensional instability and extreme quantum fluctuation. When he asked what that meant, he was told not to ask again. The most disturbing code they uncovered is not in Hebrew at all. It is in Greek. A professor of ancient languages showed me something hidden in Revelation 13. If you take the first letter of each verse in the original Greek and convert them using the ancient numerical system, the sum is exactly 225. The probability of this occurring by chance is nearly zero. The encoding was intentional. Someone built a warning into the text itself. At the same time, the Euphrates River has dropped to the lowest level ever recorded. But the drought is not the real fear. What matters is what the water has revealed. In the exposed riverbed, Iraqi archaeologists uncovered structures that do not resemble anything human. Black stone towers, geometrically precise, carved from a material that does not match any known civilization. Even more unsettling, the inscriptions on them predate Sumerian. A linguist who examined the markings told me his hands were shaking as he spoke. The text describes the watchers who fell, and the day of their release when the waters withdraw. Whoever built these structures knew the river would one day dry up. Revelation 16:12 warned that the Euphrates would be dried up to prepare the way for the kings of the East. For the first time in history, there is now a dry passage across that river. China, India, North Korea. Massive armies already aligned in the East. And it does not stop there. In recent months, Rivers across the world have turned red. The Yangtze, the Nile, the Parana. Scientists blame algae or sediment, but a marine biologist who analyzed samples told me the truth. At the molecular level, it is hemoglobin, real blood, not from any known animal. The DNA does not match anything on record. Exodus 7:20 describes the waters of Egypt turning to blood. But this time, it is global. A Christian hydrologist mapped the affected rivers and noticed something terrifying. When connected, they form a symbol identical to the markings on the black stones beneath the Euphrates. And everywhere the rivers turn red, strange things follow. Disappearances. People walking along riverbanks, captured on security cameras, and then gone. No struggle, no trace. A police officer in one affected city told me, "We've lost 300 people in 2 weeks. It's like they were erased." All the disappearances occur near the water. Back at the Euphrates, as the river continues to retreat, sealed caves are emerging. Caves untouched for thousands of years. And something is coming out. An Iraqi soldier sent me footage I cannot show. Shadows moving against the light. Tall, thin forms with glowing eyes. Revelation 9:14 speaks of 4 angels bound at the great river Euphrates, waiting to be released. A Catholic exorcist called to the region said the activity is unlike anything he has encountered. Ancient, intelligent, hostile. And it is spreading. Even in the Amazon, where rivers are at historic lows, indigenous tribes are terrified. A shaman told me through an interpreter, the old spirits are waking up. The seals are breaking. We are watching a pattern unfold, not in one nation, not in one faith, but across the entire world. Scripture, science, history, all converging. If you feel the weight of this, you are not alone. Stay alert, stay grounded, and do not look away. If this video opened your eyes, take a moment to like it so others can find it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and stay with us as we continue to uncover what lies beneath the surface of our world. Thank you for watching.
Diving into research for this video was honestly unsettling. When you spend weeks connecting dots between ancient priorities, current geopolitical shift, these strange anomalies report worldwide, it's hard to not feel like we are standing on the precipice of something massive. The sheer volume of converging patterns we uncovered during the information gathering phase was overwhelming. Whether you believe this is a divine destiny unfolding or humanity forcing the hand of the fate. One thing is undeniable, the world is shifting. Do not fall back asleep. If this opened your eyes, you need to subscribe and turn on notifications right now. We are only scratching the surface. And trust me, you do not want to miss what we uncover next.